If you clicked on this video, you are probably about to go on your first date or maybe your first link. Even if you're just hanging out with the person, you're probably about to hang out with them for the first time, and you're probably wondering, how do I make them want me even more? Now, disclaimer before I start this video, it's never good to make somebody chase you if they just don't want to chase you, because you're then chasing that person in return. So yes, I understand that you should never chase, you attract, but just for fun and games, there are ways that you can make somebody more intrigued with you. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So the first thing you need to do is dress the part. When I say dress the part, I mean you don't have to have a specific style that's just like the next person, but you want to make sure your outfit fits what you guys are doing. So if you guys are going bowling, get an outfit that kind of matches the scenery. You don't want to wear a dress when you're going bowling, right? Or if you're going to some fancy restaurant, you don't want to wear jeans at a fancy restaurant. You know what I mean? Dress the part. Put in effort into how you look. When you put in effort into how you look, that will have the person thinking, wow, like they really genuinely care about themselves and also how they look around me. That goes a long way. Think about how you would feel if somebody came to you and they looked good. You could tell they put time and effort into their looks, time and effort into how they smelled, all of that. You'll be more intrigued with them, like, oh wow. Like imagine when a guy walks by and they smell good. You're more intrigued just off of that. That gives them bonus points. So don't you think it's the same for us? If we smell good, we look good, all of that, that gives us extra bonus points, okay? The next thing I want you guys to do when you get to the date, or when you're in the car on the way to the date, whatever it is, when you first meet up with them, do not be afraid to conversate. A lot of people nowadays do not know how to hold conversation, and that is actually getting you nowhere. You have to be able to hold a conversation with a person. I'm not saying you have to give too much to them, don't tell all your business, but there's a way you can hold conversation and still be mysterious. Turn dry talk into talk that's still kind of not dry talk. Make it interesting. Use your humor. Be yourself. Don't be something that you are not. A lot of the times I've noticed that a lot of the guys that I've just talked to in the past, they honestly like me because I was just being myself, and I'm a person who's not afraid to talk. Even if you're shy, there's a way you can be shy but also give a little bit to them with your conversation. You know what I mean? It's ways to do that, but you also want to exude confidence. When you're talking and you're not afraid to talk, that shows that you are confident within yourself. That's why I always say nobody should be dating without having confidence. Confidence attracts. When you love yourself, other people will follow suit, and if they don't, whatever, it is what it is. But confidence really does attract. When you're confident and when you know you are that girl, I really genuinely feel like the other person will like you even more. So here's an example of something you do not want to say. Let's say he picks you up, you get in the car. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I look so crazy, I look terrible. Do not say that. Some people in the moment when they're nervous, they just throw out random stuff and say stuff. And a lot of the times they'll put themselves down and say stuff like, oh, I look so crazy. Oh, I'm so bad at this. I'm so terrible at this. Do not talk down on yourself. I know it's hard not to do when you're just in the moment trying to make conversation, but make conversation about something else. Here's a good example of how to do it. They pick you up. Be like, hey, how are you? I'm so excited to go this place. I've never had this stuff before. It must be good. Have you ever had this before? Stuff like that. And then it'll turn into conversation. But do not make the conversation wrapped around what you lack. Never do that. The next thing I want you guys to do, well, not to do, is do not, and I repeat, do not talk too much about your past relationships and what happened within the past relationships. Do not do that, because that will show them what you are not used to getting or what you are used to getting. Do never downplay it, basically. If they ask you about the past relationship, just say, oh, it was good, we just grew apart. Even if the past relationship cheated on you, was abusive, do not tell them how that was. Don't. Some stuff nobody needs to know, because they don't need to know what you tolerated in the past. They don't need to get any ideas of what they could do to you, pretty much. My mom always used to tell me that. If I'm talking weirdly, please don't mind. I'm getting my wisdom tooth removed soon, and it is so swollen on this side. I'm over here really trying to make this video. Sorry, that's just a mini disclaimer. Anyways, the next thing you need to do is, if you are not feeling good, do not show up. Now, I understand a lot of you guys are probably saying, why would I do that? I would never show up if I don't feel good. A lot of times when we're supposed to be doing something, we just end up doing it just because we made the plans. But if something goes wrong, let's say you couldn't get your hair done that day, let's say you couldn't get your nails done that day, and you really wanted all those things done, make a ring check. It is okay. I don't care what anybody says. If you're not up to par completely, you need to not be going out. Period. Whatever it is that needs to be done. Let's say your stomach hurts really, really bad. You have gas. Don't go out. That's just how I personally feel, especially at the first link. Tell them that you're just not feeling well, you got sick, something like that, but just don't go out if you are not feeling good, because your mood will shift. Don't go out not feeling good. It's a bad look if you're on a date and you're like, oh, I don't feel good, I'm sorry. No, I don't care what happens. You can tell them, sorry, I'm sick. We can ring check. And trust me, they will still be there. It is okay. Now, this goes along with the conversation thing. Don't be too, quote unquote, boring. Like I said, be yourself. Don't be afraid to talk. I'm a very introverted person, but I do understand that if I'm going out with somebody and it's just me and them, it's not really fair for me to not talk at all, or for me to make them be the one to hold all the conversation, and just for me to be boring in general. Even if you have to fake laugh, something like that, it's nice to just be a little bit engaging in the conversation and just give them a little bit of you, you know, just bits and bits. Now, speaking of giving them something of you, next thing you do not need to do not give up your body on the first date. Now, this is from experience, and I'm being vulnerable right now. Us as women, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not dissing people who do that. It's really, everybody each his own. But I personally feel like when it's a first date, when you do give your body up, the first link, then you'll be even more stressed and more hurt if they do end up ghosting. Whereas if they just ghost after you just hang out, you're not as hurt because it's like, okay, I didn't give anything up of myself. We just hung out and that was just it. But when you give something up of yourself, you kind of feel like, wow, they got all this of me and then they disappeared. So try not to give that part up of yourself, okay? And also, another warning sign, the red flags, if they even try to do that on the first link, that goes to show you that they're not the person for you. You know what I mean? Don't go into the link planning on doing something if this is somebody that you want to talk to in the future. Go into it as you're just friends, whatever, hanging out, so you won't be as disappointed afterwards. Now, the next thing I want you guys to do after the date is don't be the first one to reach out. Now, I understand some dudes might be in the comments like, wow, like we're supposed to do everything. I personally feel like they will reach out to you. Even if you need to, let's say they told you, text me when you make it home. You could be like, I made it home. And then they'll start the conversation after that. But I genuinely don't feel like you need to text first after the first link. I don't know, it depends on how you feel, but I don't really like doing that part. Last but not least, have fun, enjoy yourself, let go of all the nerves, and don't be so uptight. At the end of the day, you're going to have fun, you're going to enjoy each other's company. Don't be so hard on yourself, be yourself, be confident in you. Just know that you are beautiful. Don't be so self-conscious, just let loose and enjoy yourself, because a date is just a date at the end of the day. It's just like hanging out with a friend. So let go of those nerves and the nervousness. And if you're watching this because you're about to go on a date soon, hope you enjoy your time and I hope it goes amazing for you. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully when I see you guys, I'll be talking correctly, because right now my tooth is hurting. I cannot even focus. But please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.